It's a very different game.
Hey, Timbo. Did you hear? Bloodborne's free. Come on, Timbo. Let's go to Yarnum. Let's go to Yarnum, Timbo. We're gonna summon up all our buddies from Lothric. Come on, Timbo. We'll take this game. We'll siege it. We'll storm it. We'll show Yarnum how Lothric does it.
I don't know. I've heard that the bad invader man isn't neutered to death in the Bloodborns.
Oh, I'll just disconnect. I'll just disconnect if they kill me, Timbo, and then you go on without me. I'll just disconnect like we do in Lothric. But we're gonna make progress, uninterrupted, co-op with our friend. And they can only be one invader, not two, Timbo.
But what if the one invader, what if he's got the +10 weapon, and I've only got the +3? And he just comes and he just raffle stomps my dick into waffle sauce.
What if he just raffle stomps my dick into the waffle sauce? Just disconnect, Timbo. Just disconnect. Just pull the plug. And we'll go back to Lothric. Let's go back to Lothric, Timbo.
No. Seriously. Don't go back to Lothric. Hear me out. Just wait. I'm retarded. So, this month, PlayStation Plus, giving away for free my favorite, Bloodborne. Here you see me swapping from a Kirkhammer +9 to a much lower level weapon. I'm invading very early area games, and against solo hosts, I was using very weak, level appropriate, upgraded items and stuff like that. And then when they would summon in friends, I would switch to something that had a little more kick to it. And this sort of thing gives you an opportunity to sort of police yourself. And in all honesty, I don't give a shit what you do. If somebody wants to twink with +10, 27 gem, one-shotting every solo one-shotting everybody they come across, that's fine with me. And if you enjoy looking at loading screens, more power to you. Me, I'm not that guy. I like having big, long, drawn-out fights in Bloodborne. And so that's what I was going for. I had different tiers of weapons set up. I had like a +3, a +5, a +6, a +7, a +9, and a +10. And then depending on how hard I was going to have to go, or like whether or not they had like phantoms helping them, or if those phantoms were over leveled, or whatever. Look at the fucking combat in this game though. That unzip attack into the R1 true combo, and then the L2 dash catch. God, it's beautiful. And you can't do this kind of shit in Dark Souls, you know what I mean? Dark Souls is such a static, rustic game. Everybody plays, except for the fishermen and the people that are going for the flashy shit. But for the most part, you can't do the flashy shit and win. Does that make sense? I mean, you can, but you're not going to all the time. See, this guy here, he's using Simon's Bowblade, which is a DLC weapon. So I went ahead and hit him with the heavy twink weapon, because I know he's been to the DLC, at least at this low level. I'll show the build off at the very end of the video if you guys want to check it out. Keep in mind, Bloodborne, this guy, he's got all of the crow gear. He's got all the Hunter of Hunters gear this early in the game. So I was assuming he was pretty twinked out, but he didn't have any vigor, or vitality as it's called. So, I don't know. Moonlight Greatsword. Moonlight Greatsword. You know what I mean? These dudes obviously are twinked out. They've been to the DLC. They've beat Ludwig. They know what's up. I feel no shame in using my +10 Kirkhammer on these dudes. They've also summoned up the younger Madara's twin NPC. And they managed to get Yuria stuck behind a door there. Don't ask me how, but she's still going to take care of business because she's a badass. I love this game. I love how beautiful the fights are. And they're, also chaotic as all shit. But there's beauty in that, you know what I mean? Your fights can be very pretty, or they can be just these scrounging tooth and nail horror shows. And I like either one of those. So, the straight sword, always going to be my baby. I don't care if it's, like the saw cleaver, I think is arguably better than the straight sword in Bloodborne. But I'm still a straight sword guy. Also, they gave me a running R2 poke in this game, because Bloodborne is the future of From Software video games, I hope and pray. I hope the next game, I hope Shadows Die Twice has more in common with Bloodborne than it does Dark Souls 3. Hot take. Shouldn't be a hot take. Everyone should agree with that. There was too much innovation that got left in Bloodborne. And I understand why they didn't bring it to Dark Souls 3. And I'm fine with them not bringing it to Dark Souls 3. But they damn well better bring it to their next game. The innovation, the combat, everything being so good. Oh, just give me that netcode, baby. Just give me that netcode. And then give me Bloodborne. Give me Bloodborne with Dark Souls 3 netcode, and I'll live with it. Look at this trap. Ha! Get fucked. Horizontality. Horizontality. Okay? If I typically go verticality, then horizontality should be horizontality. I don't know. I just used the level. Look at these sick dodges. Oh! In and out. And again, 3 dudes, so no shame in using my Kirk hammer. Also, they're using the pizza cutter, which is, again, DLC weapon, so I know this one dude at least, he should be also pretty twinked out. So we'll test that theory. We'll see how twinked out he is exactly. Fernando there, he took a risk, and it did not pay off. He tried to parry a fully charged R2. If it had worked, great. If it didn't, point blank range, fully charged R2 with Ludwig's Holy Blade at a +9 upgrade. That's not a gamble I would take. That is not a bet I would make. The activity is so beautiful. I can't tell you guys how awesome it is to be able to go into Bloodborne, turn on the damn game, and just invade all night. Never stop invading. I've got multiple characters. This is my strength build. I'm also working on a dex build, and I have a plan to do an arcane build. I really hope that the game stays active this entire month. And God, I know a lot of people, I don't like Bloodborne PvP. You're probably not going to like what my channel does this month, so just fair warning. I hope I'm entertaining enough that you decide to come back and watch it regardless, but this is just, it's madness. I can't, and I was joking at the very beginning of the video when I was talking about the Dark Souls 3 noobs. Honest to God, a lot of people have really been, giving it a go, which I have appreciated to no end. You can tell a lot of new players are playing, and you can tell some of them are Dark Souls 3, noobs who just came from Dark Souls 3 and all they know is standing and running to the bonfire and summoning their overleveled friends, and there is some of that. But there's also, just a lot of fresh new blood playing the game, as well as, the old players returning. I end up fighting a lot of, other twinks as well, characters who are also twinked out. So it's a lot of fun. I've been messing around in the Chalice Dungeons. This is a fight I had with Pincognito in the Chalice Dungeons. We had 2 fights, and I didn't realize it was him. This dude was just like, he showed up in the Chalice Dungeon and started whipping my ass, and I was like, oh my God. We had 2 awesome fights. He took one and I took one. I think this is the one I took. I'm not sure. But look at that guy just chased me around with that Amygdalin arm. It's just been so fun to see everybody back in Bloodborne. And especially because I know a lot of content creators and, streamers and just people in general. I know a lot of us just love Bloodborne. And this is an excuse for us to get back and actually get to play it because it's alive. You know what I mean? This is a good fight I had with Nobody and his Constable Warren character. I love it. I've been messing around with some tricky techniques that I'll show you guys. A lot of unlocked play and ravioli steps and stuff. So check this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock. I'm going to throw out an R1. This guy's going to dash in front of me. And when he does, I'm going to try and get him with some raviolis to make up the difference in space between us. So there's the R1, little ravioli step while he's stunned. He can't hit me. I hit him with the block attack, and then another R1, which has hyper armor on it. So the ravioli step takes place while he's in hit stun. So there's nothing he can do. All he can do is, go one way or the other. But that ravioli step allows me to take control of the space in between us, if that makes sense. And tell me it doesn't look pretty. And I've been playing around with this and trying to figure out ways to incorporate it. Now, the problem is the ravioli step doesn't have any iframes. It's not like a dash. It's not, it still counts as a back step. And for whatever reason, despite the fact that a backstep is literally just a dash, one has iframes and the other, doesn't. So there's no iframes. So I can't use it if the person's not in hit stun. Look at this guy. Look at this Dark Souls 3 host right here, trying to play elevator games with Elevator Covenant Jesus. Who does he think he is? But that's all right. That's all right. He's gonna learn. He's gonna learn. And while this is funny, don't let me try and show you that, or don't let this jade your opinion of what happened. Most of it was not like that. It was a lot of co-opers, ganking the invader and gun spam and R1 spam. There is a lot of that, but it's people giving it a shot. You know what I mean? It's people giving it a try. And even if they're not good, there you see me using the wooden shield to get rid of some gun spammers. Which, the wooden shield is not a meme. You can use it against gun spammers. It works. It does what it's supposed to. Check out this verticality in reverse. I mean, it's not really in reverse. It's me on the receiving end of the verticality. So this guy doesn't know how to kick on the ladder, or his kick isn't hitting me for some reason. So when I realize that, I see what he's doing, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to go up here and knock his ass off. So he gets wise to it. He comes up here. So I need to heal, and then I need to whip his ass before that phantom gets back up here, because the phantom's twinked out. And I don't get it done. She's using Simon's bow blade and the pizza cutter, which are both DLC weapons. Oh, it gets me with the plunge attack. And plunge attacks are not easy in Bloodborne. So that was one hell of a plunge attack. GG to them. Now this character is level 48, I think. He's in that range, 48 or 46. Bloodborne allows you to invade down a lot. So level 46, I think I can invade down to level 32 or something like that. Or maybe it's 34. But in Bloodborne, you can't be invaded typically unless you go out of your way to get invaded. You can't be invaded unless you're level 30. So there's no point in making an invader who can invade below level 30. So this guy, he can invade in the forest, Hemwick. He can invade in, here we are in Bergenworth. He can invade all sorts of different areas. And then I can go up to the later game areas as well, because even though you can invade farther down, you can invade you can also invade farther up as well. If I'm not mistaken, instead of 10 plus 10%, it's 20 plus 20%, if I'm not mistaken. That's the, just Google search Bloodborne level range matchmaking. You'll find a little calculator that somebody's cooked up. But these fights, just being so fast and furious, and there's so much stuff you got to think about, and it's so different from Dark Souls 3, and I love it. And I'm one of those people who's a big nerd about this game. So I know which weapons have hyper armor, and which weapons I can hyper armor through, and which attacks I can't, and that kind of thing. So anytime I get a chance to stretch that muscle and play with that knowledge, I love it. I love it. Any excuse to play this damn game. When I started this channel, I said this on a stream the other day. When I started this channel on YouTube, my intention was to show people that invasions weren't too hard. Invasions weren't not fun. Invasions could be fun. That was my intention. If I started this channel again, today, it would be Bloodborne PvP is good, and everything you've ever heard that shits on it is wrong, and those people should stop talking about it. It's again, like I said about the Dark Souls 2 arena, you just can't take it seriously. It's not, a testament of honor. No one, nobody's playing this shit at EVO. No one cares. It's just fun. That true combo with the unzip on the Ludwig. There you see some more fancy footwork. The ravioli steps and the back dashes. I love it. The reverse back steps, I guess. Whatever you want to call them. Right here I get a good read on their spacing. And beautiful. L2. Reverse back step. Running R1. L2. Oh, come on. How pretty is this game? How pretty is this game? Now, it's not a video about Bloodborne PvP if you don't talk about the gems. And I hate doing the chalice dungeons. I hate them. Well, go over to Zully the Witch's YouTube channel and say thank you, Zully, for the false depth dungeons. Now, when I heard about the false depth dungeons, I was super weary of it. I thought it was just going to be a bunch of like super badass twinks all one-shotting each other. It's not like that. First of all, the false depth chalice dungeons are hard. Yes, you can access them as if they are layer 1, but they do retain that layer 4 layer. Look at this close call. Ooh. They do retain that layer 4, layer 5 difficulty. So they're still pretty difficult, the dungeons. I went in there to get the runes. I got the clockwise metamorphosis and the anti-clockwise metamorphosis. I did pick up a few gems, but nothing great. The best gems this character has on him, I think, are like 18%ers. And mostly they're just like 15% gems. And I got, look at that footwork. Most of those gems I picked up from the hunters at the very beginning of the DLC. You can farm those guys relatively hassle-free, easy as shit. And they drop some decent gems that are good enough for this mid-level invading that you're doing right here. And you've got the false depth dungeons. I did get some decent drops out of those as well. So, but you don't have to farm all the way through the chalice dungeons just to get your best gems and your best runes. Here's the build. Like I said, strength build, level 48 is what we ended up at. And I have just loved the shit out of it. I have been having an awesome time. There you see my AR on the Kirkhammer plus 10 and the Ludwig's plus 9. And then I can drop that down to plus 6, 5, and 3. Just whatever I feel like is a good challenge for the player I'm fighting. Anyway, get out there, play some Bloodborne, give it a shot. It's fucking free. It's free. Later, y'all.